All right. Today I want to talk about three men that will never save their marriage. Yeah, it's a harsh truth. The first is the guy who does nothing. It's just a phase. Maybe it's not. Okay. So you're most at risk if you do nothing when the nest empties or when all the kids are over 9 or 10, getting a little older. I've had women tell me, once the youngest is 9, I know I'll be able to handle a divorce. Because it wasn't a phase, it was pre-divorce planning, okay? And I've talked to more than one woman about this. And so the only phase it is the final phase of your marriage. So if you do nothing, should you really complain when you get surprised with divorce? Okay. Now, has she actually said she's unhappy? Maybe not. Has she hinted and been unhappy and then things seem to go back to normal? Probably. Women think hinting is actually communication, and it's not. Are you unable to talk about hard stuff? Do you avoid conversations that are difficult? Do you walk on eggshells? Then you have an issue, okay? The second guy that will not save his marriage, this one always causes me grief, is the highly religious man who doesn't believe in divorce. For a couple of reasons. And I look at, there's 4 quarters, 25% of each quadrant when it comes to men and women. And Christians and men of faith are not bad in and of themselves. There's a top half. But what we all overlook is there's a bottom half. They use the Bible as a weapon. They expect compliance. They talk about how divorce is wrong, divorce is a sin. I don't believe in divorce. Nobody cares. And if your wife wants a divorce, she doesn't care that you don't believe in it. Trust me, it takes one person to make a divorce happen. So you can deny reality, not change, not work on yourself, not grow, not try to feel empathy and understand where she's coming from, and stick with your religious beliefs, and you're going to end up divorced anyhow. Okay? I know somebody who, when the ex said, "You don't even like me, you treat me badly, why don't you divorce me?" Or why are you against divorce? He didn't want to be seen as a divorced person by people in the church. So it was his own ego that was keeping him besides his beliefs. Okay? Something to think about. And the final guy who will not save his marriage, and I've coached a bunch of these, is the guy who reaches out to me. We have 1 or 2 conversations, things improve, and then they do nothing. And I can think of 3 or 4 cases where this happens, and almost all the time, the discomfort ends, things get a little better, they stop, they think, okay, everything's okay. It's not okay. Okay? And 3 or 4 months later, it all blows up spectacularly. And that's when they become clients. And quite honestly, it's too late usually. Again, I don't help men save their marriages. I help men save themselves. And sometimes half of them save their marriages. And the other half sometimes realize she doesn't meet my standards and I don't want to be married to her anymore, so she can have that divorce. And they need to go through that learning and growth to get to that point to lovingly let her go. So if you know your marriage is questionable, it's at risk, there's no intimacy, there's no connection, there's no sex, because without intimacy and connection, you're not going to have sex. And you think it's just a phase, but it's been going on for a long time, or you think, well, we got married, it's a covenant, so divorce isn't an option, Or you start to do a little bit of work, you read one book and you're like, oh my gosh, things have improved, and you don't continue on the journey of self-improvement as a man, it's very likely you'll all end up divorced. Now, one, there's nothing wrong with ending up divorced. Two, sometimes that is the best outcome for you. However, half of you have the ability, if you start the work, not to save the marriage, but to save yourself and level up, to create a loving, connected, deeply intimate relationship with her. And I would hate, with all the divorces we see out there, for half of the guys to blow that opportunity. So, if you would like to have a talk, my contact information is down below. I don't charge for the first call. If you do the homework assignment, I don't charge for the second call. And let's talk and see if I can't help you. Because the reality is nobody taught you how to be a great husband. Most likely you weren't taught how to be a great man. And society does nothing but shame you for being who you are. So how about we course correct and you end up with an amazing life, with or without her. All right, guys? Have a great day. We'll see you next time.